I'm on every channel now on Instagram, on the Wisdom app, and also on the Clubhouse, and Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So this is for those people who just joined. This is just to tell you that I'm kind of trying to share how I am during the pandemic. What did I think? What did I feel? How I was being, and how did I work? Based on the four types of yogas. First, let us come to how did I work? What did I do? It's more like a even when we are locked out and the clinic was not having any patients, I had to relate to people on the social club. And one guiding principle was, how can I be of service or people, whoever comes in my way, whether I share something knowledgeable that I learned, or some kind of a technique that can relieve their anxiety or stress, or just help them with the nutrition, with grief, with anxiety, you name it. Okay, whatever the need was, I try to help with my 2 cents. And it seems lots of times it helped. And also participated in major rooms during the second wave of India, when the India had a crisis, raising funds and directing resources to the people who were victims there, that kind of thing. So it's basically based on service. How can I be of service to anybody? That was the guiding principle. Even if you place a patient of COVID, or long haul COVID patients. All I did was see what is that we can help, and then lots of times people had questions, and I was able to answer them, and I was able to get them on the call, and then I also spent time on that too. So sometimes it took day and night, because India time is uh, you know daytime for me is the nighttime for them. But then nighttime for them, really okay. But then nighttime for me, daytime for them, that's when they had the most calls. Anyway, that kind of principle of how can I be of service helped here with other patients, helped online, helped with people who are reaching me online. That was good for me too. I felt like I was of use for somebody every day. So that's a very important principle that guided me in following the principles of karma yoga. Karma yoga is where you consider all creation is God's creation, and you want to work for it and without expecting anything in return. So that helped a lot. But then in the process, I had to spend a lot of money for the services I was providing. That was okay, but after a while, it was not really possible, because you have to have money to run these services. So it introduces some minimal charges and all that too. But then people did not take advantage of that much. But still, I can come and talk to them on the social media like this, which was okay, which is actually a pleasure for me. So service, making it more like a um, something that is you are privileged to do, and you are happy to do, and you are really working for the welfare of others, because you have no psychological needs for yourself, really help. So that's how work and karma yoga blended, and really helped me not to be afraid of the situation, not to invite fear and anxiety into my mind, and go and help the patient who is in need. You know, that's number one. Number two is, how did I feel about the whole thing? I kind of feel devoted to the universal energy, which we call God or Ishvara. So they taught me what's called Ishvara Spurana. That means you always think of the extraordinary power that created us, that gave us life, and all these things. So that kind of thing, the devoted attitude, which they call Bhakti Yoga, really helped with my feelings. And then whatever that was given to you, you consider This is something given by God. There, I remember Arthur Ashe, the tennis star, who was diagnosed with HIV after a blood transfusion, right after a few months or something after he won the U.S. Open. When he was approached by people, he said, "Well, he gave me tennis championship. I did not object. Why should I object when I have this newfound illness?" That kind of attitude I always remembered, that helped a lot. That's how I feel everything is God's gift, and why don't we approach that? That's how I felt. And the third thing was uh, how I think there the Raja Yoga, that means the yoga of Patanjali, where he ultimately leads to absolute concentration and doing one thing at a time. You know, that particular thing, one thing at a time, really helped a lot. That means how I think is based on how I concentrate, how I focus on one thing at a time. So that is the Raja Yoga. And the fourth one is how I am being, how to be myself. That was based on um, Jnana Yoga, which is knowledge yoga. That means you don't know who you are. That's your ignorance. And from that, you travel to who you are, that conscious being behind the mind and all the reactions. So that made me very non reactive to anything that's coming at me, even the pandemic. The saying is very simple there: this too shall pass. But you have to do what you have to do practically, being the mitigation efforts and taking the vaccine, nutritious food, exercise, keeping quiet within. All the wellness principles I advocated, I lived, and that seems to made a difference for me. So how I work, how I think, how I feel, and also how I am as a being. These four principles really helped me. So looking at all these things, you can see how anybody can approach any crisis, not just pandemic. Too. That's where combination of all these things, not like one thing at a time, but integrated living really helped me to go through the pandemic and then come out of it rather um, you know um, together at least. These principles will be continued, and whatever the challenges that come, the challenges are our first arrow that come and hurt us, but then our major suffering is because of our reactions to the challenge. That's what Buddha explained to us. The first arrow is from the society, from the life, from outside. It will come and hit you. That you cannot help. It will happen. Like the pandemic happened. But then how we react to it, how careful we are not to spread it, how careful we are to protect our body and mind by being resistant and training resiliency by eating good food, optimal exercise, and keeping the mind quiet, and also really having this devotional attitude to the creator who has created the world and us. And also seeing the creator in everybody else. So these things are very very useful for me, and I thought I would come back and tell how to be non-reactive by thinking this too shall pass. How to be devotional to the people, to the everybody around us, and also see the God in them. That is being devotional. How to think one thing at a time by learning Raja Yoga, and really working with attitude of this. Working is also a privilege for me, given to me, and let me do this with not with really expecting a lot of fruits from it, but work itself, duty itself, for the duty's sake. That was Karma Siddhanta's, Karma Yoga's message. So while I'm getting up in the morning, remembering who I am, when I'm thinking something negative, thinking that it will also pass, or putting myself in positive thinking by doing only one at a time with the Raj Yoga, And when I'm working with that attitude, this too is given by an opportunity given to me to serve other people. That kind of thing helped me a lot. I hope it will continue to help me, and I will continue to refine this. I felt like I should share this with my friends. And maybe some of those principles they are already doing, maybe in a better way too. And maybe if they are not doing it, they can think about these principles and see whether they're applicable in their life. If they are applicable, how they can implement them. So that's all I wanted to share for today. I hope it made some sense to all of you. And if you have any questions, you can come up and ask me. Otherwise, I'll be seeing you all uh, uh, in the next talk too. There are people on the Instagram. So I'm going to wave at them because they have been here for some time. And I hope people on the wisdom, if they want, you can come up and talk to me. And then on the clubhouse, people were there. And then somebody wanted to come, but I wanted to finish my initial talk, and that's why I kind of kept quiet. And there, so people are piling up in the clubhouse and wisdom app now coming up. But that's a very simple message I wanted to convey to people. What are those four principles that are guiding me, that are guided me, that kind of held me together so that I won't go bonkers, but at the same time can be a source of support and help to my fellow human beings. That really helped a lot. Okay, out of that, several courses have come up, and then I'm going to uh, continue to help them with those courses, and whoever wanted to take, they can take it. I have also formed a wellness club where people can come and learn these principles, and they are more than welcome to come up with that. Okay, so those kind of things, if you can really understand what I'm talking about. If somebody wants to come up on the Instagram, let me see who that is. Hello? I think they're having problems with the mic. Hello? Okay, they could not connect. Okay. Anyway, that's the simple message for today. I hope you all can understand the simple things I was talking about, and live those four yogas combined together as a yoga practitioner. There was something on my computer every day. I read it. It is on the screen. It says a person is said to be established in self-realization and is called a yogi when he has attained contentment by knowing and understanding the self, the Atman, and he's unperturbed and he has the mind and senses under his control. And to him, a bar of gold or a pile of mud are the same. So that kind of equanimity, that kind of unruffledness, that kind of control over the mind and senses happen when you realize who you are. You are that conscious being inside, behind the body and mind. So practice yoga with that kind of understanding, and you are liberated from so many things. Okay, there's a lot more in that sentence that you can explore, but first of all, be content that you are a conscious being. Once you understand, once you know and understand that self, that is everything. Everything else is a projection. Anyway, so be integrated yoga, four types of yoga together in your life: how you work, how you think, how you feel, and who you think you are, how you be. Those four types of things, right? Karma yoga, how you work, how you think; Raja Yoga, how you feel; Bhakti Yoga; and fourth one is Knowledge Yoga, Gnana Yoga, of who you are. Combine these four. Just doing only physical exercise is okay, but it's only for the body. But you are not the body. Just being concentrated and then meditating is for the mind, but you are not just the body and mind either. You are that conscious being behind these two. Keep the body in shape and keep the mind quiet and realize who you are. With that, I'll take leave of you and then I'll be talking to you again one of this morning. Thank you.